Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI. Big Shirley. What's going on, people? Let's get it. In the chat room. Age, city, gender. If you want to join the chat, you must be a member. You need to join the members only chat from a desktop. Select your level. Select your benefit. New levels added. Bittersweet. What a day. Baba. How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to what's becoming your favorite spot on YouTube. I think we're going to start calling this show We just did the initial announcement. Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI. How you doing? Candle of the evening. Santal 26. Fragrance of the evening. Rosia Dove. Heritage exclusive. Black tier. Keep the likes up. Keep the engagement up. Blah 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 blah. The same old stuff. The same old stuff that we always do. I see the lights. See the meter going. So that's what it is. Blah blah blah. We shouldn't have a hot mic. We're good right there. You see the title. You see the title. Now, I would say this, number one. Number two, keep it cool, keep it classy in the chat room. The chat room is for members only. So in order to chat, you must be a member. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Select your level, select the benefit that you want, and move forward. Knock it off, guys. I'm about to close the chat room. I'm be honest. I really am not in the mood for a bunch of just cool out. Cool out. Cool out. If we need to play a song to reset, we'll do that. People ask me, what are you drinking on? I don't drink. That's Red Bull. That's Red Bull. Became a member. Appreciate it. The badges are going to change. And at the different membership levels, at certain membership levels, you'll get shout outs in the chat room. Some people will have the ability to change their wallpaper, members only videos, and even change and put in gifts in the chat room. So it's up to you. It's been a tough day on the personal front, but I was saying earlier, the show must go on. Had some unfortunate news, but we still must do what we must do. We must do what we must do. So to show all utility windows, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I will also say this. Let me make this abundantly clear. By choosing to participate in the comment section, the chat room, or on the video, you are waiving your right to privacy. You have implied consent. You imply consent. Getting in the Zoom call, you must cam up, and you may or may not be on the video, but you waive your right to privacy on an open platform. I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm going to continue to say it. Number one. Number two, just because you're in the members only, that does not mean you can say what you want to. If you act up in members only, I will block you. I will block you. I will block you. I will block you. So don't think just because, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, my brother in the house. The Zeus of the Black Manosphere, you better recognize you wouldn't have a Black Manosphere with this kind of reach, this kind of popularity, this kind of depth without that brother's tireless work. There may be many people who can say they found it, such and so forth, but there's one person that's put the glue to put the black male conversation into the forefront, and that's that brother O'Shea Duke Jackson. Don't like it? Go rewrite your own history. Get your own Thanos glove and snap around, but you can't change that reality. Cannot change that reality. I respect work, and when work is done, I acknowledge work. Let me say this, that as we continue to move forward, guys, you got to understand something. This platform has grown in ways that I don't think anyone could have foresaw coming. When you reach over 400,000, 300,000 subscribers, 400,000, there are going to be people that come in. I cannot control the conversation. It's not a channel that has 30,000 subscribers anymore. People will come in, come out. People will come in for their own reasons. There are going to be all kind of folks flocking over here, but we're going to stay on task and on message. It's kind of like being a politician in some regards. If you need to have 100% approval rating or have everybody like you or love you, don't become a content creator or an influencer. It'll never happen. Name me one person that everybody universally loves. Name me somebody that has an 80% approval rating. Businesses don't have an 80% approval rating. You break things in life. You break things in business. But I reject the notion that a black man has to be any different than anybody else. Black men, you do not have to be perfect to exist. Every other business on this planet can make mistakes, customer service issues, such and so forth, blah, blah, blah. And through blackmail media, we are going to have to control our own narrative, because why should they change it for us? Why am I saying this? Because I've said it before and I said it again. This platform, I'm leading it, but it ain't about me. Not this show. This platform and what I'm doing, yes, it's mine. But this show is about helping get men what they want, and I'll get what I want along the way. I need to say this because I'm about to go into a subject that is going to be problematic. It's going to be touchy. And there's no two ways about it. Sometimes the best path is not around, it's through. You know? Shout out to brother O'Shea Duke Jackson. That brother went over to Poland because that's where he got into medical school. There may have been easier paths. There may have been more paths that may have been even more to his liking. A pro-black man in a predominantly white country. But he chose to go through. And Poland is where he had to go through. I respect that. I respect that brother Obsidian, who's worked 22 years and had to be drug off of a work site almost dead. I respect men who go through, not around. And when you go through, you're going to sustain damage, dings, dents, problems, scratches, everything else. The only thing that, if you want somebody that looks pristine, look for a motherfucker that goes around. Somebody that goes around looks good on the other side. I respect motherfuckers that go through. Subject of the day is, do kids hold you back? Do kids hold you back? And in the comment, in the quote lines, single moms are hot on the successful men market. That is an actual title of a video and a series of information has been put out to women. You actually have people telling women that single moms are hot, the most lit, the best, the top on the single men market. And I need you guys to understand something, because you got to understand that women are being told a lot of stuff by people that they put credibility, that they put trust in. Guys, we got to keep the likes up, engagement up over 50%. When I get into this, I'd rather keep going. We should have almost 4,500 likes. We're just over 3,000. When I get started, I want to see the likes up at least 50%. That's the least we could do. Hit the like button. Maybe you forgot. That's cool. I'm gonna look down in a minute, and if we're not there, we'll just go to intermission until the likes get up. Dating coach. This comes from, I want to read some excerpts from somebody called, I'm not even going to give them no shout out. Nope. I ain't going to give that a shout out. But it's a dating coach. And it says, the majority of my clients are single moms. They often ask, why in the hell would a single guy want, why would the majority of my clients are single moms. They often ask, why in the hell would a successful guy want to date a single mom? They're often stunned by my answer. This is what a dating coach tells single mothers who are her clients. Single moms who take responsibility for their families, who are awesome moms and successful in their lives, are extremely desirable to successful and attractive men. Stop right there. Ladies, that is a fantasy. That this dating coach is a female telling other women what they want to hear. Haven't we seen enough of that this week, ladies? You have women telling you what you want to hear because they got products to sell, books to sell, courses to sell, you to sell. And I'm going to go through this and let you understand what women are being told by people who are selling them a dream, along with books, products, and a fantasy. They come after me, I'm going to come after now. I didn't go looking for this fight, but I'm good for this fight. Dating single parents for serious long-term relationships. Ha ha ha. That said, I understand why mothers feel subpar about the dating market. Single mothers are indeed stigmatized in some dating circles, whether it be for their mom bods, drama from exes, worried that the child will be a hassle, or worried that these women are financially destitute. Single mothers get stuck in negative thinking that holds them back from meeting men who are their educational, intellectual, and social peers. That's exactly what I was talking about Wednesday. This whole bull crap of being equally yoked, associating your sexual marketplace value with your education, income, and resources. But again, when all you have is magic beans, you gotta sell magic beans. I'm sorry, when all you got is beanstalks, you gotta sell magic beans. Here are things you need to know about this subject. 5 things to remember as a single mom in the dating world. Here are the secrets that most singles moms miss. Hold the French toast on, because I'm going there. It is time to go. It is time to go to the shadow realm. If this was some Yu-Gi-Oh shit. Get the likes up, folks. This is what this woman says. 97% of men's interactions with women are driven by fear. That's what this dating coach is telling her clients who are single mothers, that 97 out of 100, 97% of our interaction with women, gentlemen, is driven by fear. We're driven by fear. Successful men in this French toast dating coach's mind, who built the world that they occupy and live in, when we interact with the weaker vessel, we are driven by fear. I find that constitutionally offensive. Men closely relate their success and ego to whether they can win over a quality woman. It's in the evolutionary makeup. When a man doesn't win over a woman of high quality, he questions his self-worth. Bullshit. This is women giving advice to women. Next, single moms have their shit together. No disrespect to the single mothers that do. But come on. I need you guys to hear what women are being told about their chances what women are being told about you. Guys, that's what they're being told about. Productive, competitive, successful men / high value men. That's what these dating coaches and these female dating coaches are telling their female clients. A single mom. In today's culture, success is defined by looks, yes, but also the qualities that are unique to single mothers. A single mom knows firsthand what responsibility is. She knows true love and has demonstrated an emotional connection that a childless woman cannot.
That was pathetic.
A single mom is patient, open-minded, trustworthy, loyal, and selfless. I cannot take an aside on everything. She wants better for herself and others around her. She's careful, sensitive, loving, strong, and is on a goal of constant self-improvement. Wow. Let me read it again. She's careful, sensitive, caring, loving, strong, and is on a constant goal of self-improvement. A single mom has meaning to her life. These are all qualities great guys are looking for. Successful men don't want women who run around, stay out every night, drink too much, and have no control over themselves and are unpredictable. They like women who are strong, stable, and are feminine. All qualities of a successful single mom. After all, what's more truly feminine than a mother? This is hard to read. This is hard to read when you coming from a standpoint what we know, guys, and what you ladies over here know. This is hard to read because it's 8, 9, 10 years ago. I would say the majority of folks would have said, well, this is just common sense, because that's what keeps getting piped into the culture. That the problem isn't with men, that the problem is that who wouldn't want a woman that's all these great qualities and a mother? You talk about me being a salesperson? Who's selling this stuff? Despite this, so many single moms struggle with self-confidence and romance. I understand that it can be easy to buy into those single mom stigmas. I also understand that you've had your heart broken by some not so great guys. It's time to get over it. Look at yourself and your life through the eyes of the type of man you desire. Appreciate how strong, loving, and capable of you are. You've already proven that you can handle so much and move through hard times with grace. Embrace the fact that you have all the traits to attract a quality man to build a long-lasting relationship. Here's how to attract to build a relationship with a successful man. Stop right there. If you got all those traits, why is your husband gone? If you got all those traits, why's your BD gone? I ask, this is often what I ask. If you're all that in a bag of chips, why aren't you with a daddy? Or the daddies? Be proud of your single motherhood. That's what these women are being told. Be proud of your single motherhood. Once you have those traits mentioned above, you'll automatically step into the role of a quality woman, but you have to own it. By owning your traits you take responsibility for your situation, your actions, and have a positive outlook. You automatically raise your social proof value. Confidence attracts confidence. Yeah, this is why you ladies end up getting scammed by women promising you the world in real estate. Because you believe this. It sounds really good, and you really want to hear this, because me saying something that men are saying, that's a little too hard. It's too harsh. But this sounds good to you. It sounds real good to you. But you know what you really should be doing? You really should be thinking when you hear somebody say this. Run, bitch! Run! That's what your instinct should be saying. Run! Run, lady, run! The B is already in there. I couldn't cut it out. But run is what your instinct should be saying. Not, ooh, how can I buy more? Sign me up for that. Give me those. Give me 10 of those. Don't be afraid to show your success. Successful men don't want needy women. Most single moms I know have their acts together. Wow. They have dynamic careers and are raising amazing children with full social lives. To a man who already has a great life, this is catnip. A successful single mom shows a man that in his life, financial and social status are not threatened, and makes single moms hot. Focus on the right guy. I often see successful single moms going after the wrong guys. You mean like, and the implication is the guy you made a baby with is the wrong guy too, because you're not with him. So it's always the guy's fault. Okay, got it. These might be men who are not into their professional. These might be men who are not their professional or social peers, men who are indeed threatened by her success, or you might have your eye on a younger man who doesn't know what it's like to have a family or is not ready to settle down. This guy is in a different stage in his life. Instead, focus on a man who's ready for a family and truly open to your situation. This might mean you date single men or single dad, or men who have been involved with single moms before. Guys, this is what they've been told. This is what they've been told, gentlemen. This is why so many women are at a disconnect between so many guys today. Get my likes up. I shouldn't have to keep doing that, folks. I really shouldn't. But I will do it every damn time. Every time I will. Maybe you need a bathroom break. All right. And I had to stop because we needed to get ready for this one. Lights out. Let him take care of you.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
That's right. This person told these single mothers to let successful men take care of you and your kids by another man. When a woman starts to focus on pleasing a man, opposed to accepting his care, she ruins the natural mating cycle. Ain't this what somebody was telling y'all? Ain't this what these level ups and date outs and security bags and don't forget this and self-love this? Ain't this what y'all keep hearing all the time? This is what they keep telling. This is what they keep telling you, ladies. The man's job is to please and satisfy a woman. If it's the other way around, he will start to focus on his needs and not yours. As long as he satisfies you, and you let him know through gratitude, he will continue to help and love you. Overpleasing is a sign of seeking validation. It subconsciously tells a man you can't take care of yourself. That's When you have the confidence to allow a man to take care of you, he feels masculine, secure, and devoted to you. With confidence, you already own everything you need to attract the quality man. Well, if that's the case, why ain't the BD still around? Confidence is a choice in the moment you create it. Don't worry about your mom bod, your child, your financial situation, or your ex. Just know you've got it covered. Then take action. The only life worth living is a life full of action. Once a man sees this, he's going to be attracted to you. Attraction isn't serendipitous. You create it. H. Christ. Why did I read all that? Because I think it's important for men to know and understand exactly why so many women with children really have an inaccurate estimation of what children do to their actual sexual marketplace value for the average everyday guy, and especially for productive, competitive, successful, high value men. Productive, competitive, successful men, high value men, those are guys who are above the average everyday guys. These are the men we talk about most of the time. High value, productive, competitive, successful. Whether they're already high value or they're in process. Gentlemen, this is what ladies have had piped into their head for the better part of my lifetime. There is a multi-billion-dollar industry selling books, conferences, seminars, courses, catalogs, meetups, tiddlywinks, whatever, to consistently pump this information to women. So, this is a big part of why so many women today truly are unclear, uncertain, not understanding why coming through the door with another man's child lowers her SMV, sexual marketplace value, to men who have options. Just like 3 weeks ago when I talked about Cosmopolitan magazine marketed the Cosmo lifestyle to an entire generation of women, and the woman who wrote these magazines, wrote these articles, came out and said we just lied about all this. And she wrote a book called Subverted in her tell-all book to say, had no idea it was going to cause this amount of problems. But that woman was married to her husband until he died. And the woman who ran Cosmo was married to her husband for 50 years. But they sold a single lifestyle to a bunch of unsuspecting women simply wanting choice. Feminism is choice. It's not equality. It's choice. I support feminism in that way. It's about choice. I support equal access, but not equal opportunity. Not equal outcomes. This world's major litmus test is competency. That's why last week's conversation about survival offended so many women, because they realize when it comes to the way the world works, their understanding is not based in competency. Science, engineering, technology, and math, the very things that power a world, most women prove that they have no real working knowledge of this stuff. And when pushed on it, well, most men don't have to, because the men built the world. So now we're having conversations that really should be ABC. 2 plus 2 is 4, but it is not. It is caustic. It is graining on some women's nerves because it is so far out of step with what they have been marketed. I'm not going to say what you've been sold. I'm not going to say what you've been told, ladies. I'm going to say what you've been sold. You've been sold a dream, and you have been continually marketed to. That all you have to do is show up and be feminine, and a successful man is going to take care of you and help you with another man's children. Well, ladies, let me ask you something. For those of you who don't really seem to understand how your value gets lowered, I'll tell you, number one, it's not from a moral standpoint. This is not you're a bad person for having children. That's not it. I think that's what many women hear, but that's not it. It's also a double standard. But just like the double standards that benefit you, this is one that benefits men. You can be a high value, productive, competitive, successful man with multiple children and not suffer any real long-term lasting damage on the sexual marketplace. Women, not so much. It lowers your SMV, one, because men know beyond a shadow of a doubt, they are not going to be number one in your life. They're going to be behind your children and behind possibly another man, your friends, pets, your desires. A man is going to come where? Fourth, fifth? Those children, you love them. But to the world, they're just another person. And you can't control your own environment. Are your children going to be an asset to another man? And the answer is overwhelmingly no. Men are looking at this from a risk calculation standpoint and an asset standpoint. And truthfully, men who have options overwhelmingly choose to avoid women with children. Why? Because they don't have to pick them. This is why folks like these dating coaches and level ups and all this other stuff are so heavily actively selling you a fantasy. But what they can tell you how good it is. They can tell you how bad somebody like myself and guys who think like I think, talk like I talk, and move like I move are. But what they cannot show you, is marriages as a result of following their program. Ladies, do kids cost you? Do they? Do kids hold you back? And let's understand from who we're talking about. We're not talking about from the ability to date a man, hook up, hang out. We're talking about measuring in one thing and one thing only. Marriage to a man of value. Marriage to a man of consequence. Marriage to a man that other women want. That's what we're judging in. And this is where we had to have the conversation, because I was actually kind of floored when I saw so many women really were not getting this concept. They're like, what? What do you mean? My kids are no problem. They're no bother. No, you've gotten used to your children. You are maintaining a child. When that child is going to come with, that man automatically realizes that he's going to be second to your kids, that those children have a father who is going to have influence in his home. Any children that he has already or will have in the future, he will have to split his resources with his non-biological children. Should the marriage dissolve, those children are not legally his. Will he be able to discipline those kids? Will he be able to raise those? I mean, all these things, ladies. And the main thing I really hear more than anything else is you ladies really do not put yourself in the men's place and see it through men's eyes. You see it through your eyes. Think about that woman who said, when asked, why didn't you marry your child's father, your baby daddy? He wasn't good enough for me. And I said, what would have happened if a black man would have said that? He'd have been crucified. Well, we're about to open the call lines and have this conversation. If these women are so hot on the dating scene, they're so lit. So many men are out trying to find these women. My question is this: why? Why aren't you with? If that's the case, then it begs to ask the question: why aren't you with the child's father? What happened there? If these women are so great and wonderful, why aren't they there? Again, remember how he said it. Single moms who take responsibility for their families, who are also moms and are successful in their lives, are extremely desirable to successful, attractive men. That's what he said. And he said that the main reason is because men are fools. 97% of men are driven by fear. Women are great and they have their stuff together. You should be proud of being a mother. Don't be afraid to show your success and let him take care of you. That's what he said. Now I'm going to read some of the comments. Oh. Well, looky there. Looky there. That was a comment that was just there and it was deleted. That was a comment that was put up on February 21st. And it says, here it is. This article falls in 2020 favorites as obesity is sexy, poor is the new rich, and don't judge a book by its cover. Child-free millionaire. Greg said, this article is delusional. It's funny how this article only references successful men. What about non-successful men? What's wrong with them? Oh, that's right. You're not into them, are you? Men value youth and beauty, whether or not a woman is successful or not. It's great to the single mothers who are smashing it. You're doing great, really. But let's look at the raw dynamics. If a 35-year-old successful man, the top 3 to 5% of the dating market, had to pick from a 43-year-old with 4 children or a 25-year-old with no kids, who would you pick? And that's where the rubber meets the road, ladies. Men are visual creatures. I honestly feel if you're pretty enough, you can get any man you want with or without kids, but can you keep them is a different story. Men didn't agree with this at all. I'm going to just tell you that by now. I've never read such nonsense in my life. Wow is all I can say. Yep, it seems like they got kind of inundated with in the later part. But here's one. 100% agreed. As a single mother of 2 well-behaved and intelligent children, high credit score, great retirement savings, graduate degree.
I'm a PhD.
And no parental drama, heartbreak and loneliness is inevitable, especially as an African-American woman. The only men who portray interest are those who have nothing to offer. No job, no home, no transportation, in debt, and they're playing the field at all ages. You find yourself overlooking, downplaying, and settling in various areas because you feel your situation is the least desirable to successful man. The bottom line is choice of men has everything to do with availability of men. Although you want a particular type of man successful, does that type of man want you? Single mother. Young successful men want to know what it's like to have sex with a MILF. Older successful men are just passing time. No matter how selfless, successful, caring, supportive, catering, loving, independent, in shape, educated, successful, or interested, men do not want single mothers. Blessing to the single mothers who are lucky to find a worthy man. Look, ladies, men are not your enemy, but men know what they want. Like I told Tawana the other day, cheese pizza. They want cheese pizza. They know what they want, and they're not going to be. What you're being sold and marketed is not lining up with what men are wanting to buy. You are like Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness, thinking that you found a revolutionary industry of these bone density machines because somebody sold you on this is a good idea, but you didn't do the market research. And just like Will Smith, it's going to cost you. Because you got a bunch of stuff that the men aren't wanting to buy. Men don't want other men's kids. Men don't want women who think that with an entitled attitude, who think that being a single mother makes you rank higher when it doesn't. And let me say something to the single mothers that this doesn't apply to you. I don't want to hear from you. Let me tell you why. Because I don't say that everybody falls into this category. Obviously, you do not. But I don't want to have, when you call in today, I don't want to have women calling in saying, yeah, but, not my friends. I'm a single mother and I'm great. And I know other single mothers who are 6 figures and PhDs and everything else.
I'm a PhD.
And got dogs and the dogs dance with the cats and everything's great. It's a freaking Disney party over here. Great. You're winning. Not talking to you. Because often women call in and want to give balance so they can feel like we can give women some hope. Let me say something that may sound counterintuitive. But there is sometimes giving hope is the worst thing you can do. When you know that the odds are not in their favor, an oncologist is going to come in and tell you have stage 4 pancreatic cancer. There's hope that you may live, but the odds are not in your favor. And a professional is going to come in and tell you, hope for the best, plan for the worst. You need to get your affairs in order. Continue to tell women there's hope is just like being on the other side as far as I'm concerned. Selling them a fantasy, a dream, another book, another course, another t-shirt, another mug, another seminar, another group. And it's all women leading women. There are no men over where you are, ladies. There are no men over in the level up, get the bag, secure the bag, all that other stuff. There are no men in these places. There are no men in those sectors. The men are over here and they want cheese pizza. Some of them want chicken fried steak. Look it up. And one thing, you may not like my tone, my approach, it's not going to change. Because at the end of the day, I'm speaking for the men who they can't talk to. Every time I hear women come over there, you want to talk about what you think and your handful of friends. Well, I'll put your handful of friends up against the hundreds, thousands, bordering on hundreds of thousands of men that I interact with. They interact over here on a regular basis. And the question is, as a single mother, what are you going to do? Do your kids hold you back? Obviously. Obviously they do. If not, you'd already be married to this perfect man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Again, you're going to have to be on camera. You're going to have to show your face. Because it's time to get into this. I think this is a good subject. Good subject, good subject. Glad we have it.
Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work.
Ladies only. No men call in. I'm not talking to any
Se
guys.
arregla con dinero.
I'm not talking to any men.
Money work.
No men.
El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, me olvidaré. Yeah. Lunes. Money work.
No men, only women. No men, only women. Let's get it.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo.
All right, here's how this is gonna go. This is how this is gonna go. We're gonna keep it cool. We're gonna keep it polite. We're gonna keep it respectful. Ladies, make sure you have your audio source on. I don't want to have to keep telling folks to unmute yourself. There's only one thing I ask is do not talk over me. You cannot talk over me. I'm running a show. So if I start speaking, you gotta chill out. Let me go through the comment section real quick. First up, the first person who gets on camera, cams up. I'll go in that order. Boom, here we go. Let me read some of these super chats. Try to get to some of that. New member. Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'll come back to these in a minute. Okay. Shout out to Nate. Nate Taylor in the house. Oh, yeah, I like the Cartier frames. Yeah, we're gonna have many. Someone. All right, let's get into it. Miss what's her name? All right, let's do it. Miss Eberhart. You turned off your. You turned off your camera, so that means no. Crystal, go ahead. How are you? What do you got for me? Well, first up, how old are you?
How old am I? I'm 39.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm 39. I have two minor children in the home, and I'm divorcing. And so your question is very appropriate for certain situations because, you want to remarry. I want to remarry, and the options, facing those,
Hold on, Crystal. Chris, let me do this real quick because I gotta address something real quick. Miss, what's her name? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Miss Eberhart. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, lady. Eberhart. I don't know how to pronounce this woman's name. She is tripping. You, the woman who's sitting here vaping with the braids. Yeah, I think she left. Anywho, I don't understand why women come on here doing that. It's such a bad look. Go ahead and unmute yourself again, Crystal. Go ahead. So you're 39. You're wanting to remarry, you said?
Absolutely, yes. I would love to remarry. But
Okay.
the reality of having children, it comes with this challenges when finding a mate that is.
Were you married previously? Were you previously married to your children's father?
Yes.
Well, I mean that in and of itself is much different. At least to men. Men look at women who have been previously married far different than women who are have children without the benefit of marriage. So that goes heavily in your favor. You're a divorcee who had your children in the course of your marriage. That's different to men. Yeah, it ranks differently too. Because at least one man's already committed to you. So let me do this real quick. Dakota, gonna unmute you. You sit up here combing your hair. Okay, you gotta leave your phone right there. All right, Dakota, unmute. Hello, how are you? All right. How old are you? Okay. What do you got for me? Do you have any children? Okay. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. You have helped to change my sense of entitlement just by watching um, everybody else go through, what they're going through and all their stories and what have you. So, my question to you is being 27
Hmm.
and having an 8-year-old, I do understand when you say it lowers my sense of value. What'd you say? Sexual marketplace
Sexual
value.
marketplace value. Yeah.
Yeah, so I do understand that. But what I am having trouble understanding is because there is an attraction, and it's not necessarily saying that it's only high value men, but there is a physical attraction when it comes to, the whole dating scene. But I have found myself that it tends to
What's
be
the question? What's the question?
um am I felt like maybe I'm expecting too much. Am
Well,
I
where do you live? What state do you live in?
I stay in South Carolina. I lived in North Carolina my entire life, and I
So
moved to
South
South
Carolina
Carolina.
is not a rich state.
Well, we understand that much.
Okay.
I
So
plan to
so
move
let me okay, now it's time for me to talk. You had a child at 19?
yes.
Did you go to college?
No, I didn't.
So you graduated high school?
Yes.
Why didn't you marry the father of your child?
Um because it wasn't one of those situations. That wasn't a conversation that was had. Truthfully, it was just I know you say this all the time, it's not an excuse, but I was young and I was just enjoying my life.
Okay, well, there's
So,
the bill. Okay, so at 19 having a baby.
right.
I live in the same country you live in. You're too young, too broke to have a kid.
Right, exactly.
So I'm having fun. Who was paying the bill?
I am.
Were there any government assistance at all?
Initially there was, but
Okay.
that
And
ceased,
there's
and
no
that was
shade to
kind
that. I'm just asking. So men look at how you men don't just look at the fact that you have a child. Men look at how you move with that child.
of right,
And this I was young is an insufficient uh reason for most men.
right,
Men will date you, men will hang out with you, men will have relations with you,
exactly.
but they won't marry you.
Right, and that's what I find myself dealing with now is because it's like I didn't think about those consequences that I have now. At the time of me being pregnant, I was like, okay, well, I'm pregnant. I put
Right, but
myself
that was 8 years
in
ago. That was 8 years ago.
right.
How long you been following my platform?
Truthfully, it's only been like 2 or 3 weeks, and I
Well,
love
I
everything
would
about it.
say this that and do you have a boy or a girl?
A girl.
All right. Well, one is the father. How are you guys? Are you guys
Oh, he's
co-parenting?
non-existent. I mean, he picks and chooses when he wants to come around, but for
All
the
right.
most part, he's
Okay.
non-existent.
So I would say that dating. See, when you're dealing with somebody else, that's a luxury.
Right.
Most people understand what they want from another person, but what are they getting from you? What do you have of value to offer to a man in a long-term committed relationship, marriage?
And you're asking me that directly?
Yeah, 'cause were you raised to be a housewife?
I believe so, yes.
No, no, no. Were you raised to be one? Were your mother and father married?
Not to each other, no.
Okay. But your mother was married?
No, my father was married.
Were you raised by your mother or your father?
My mother.
How many children does your mother have?
3.
By how many different men?
3. And that's exactly
Man,
what I did not.
let me stop you right here, okay? Um, I know there's a story. Everybody's story. Everybody has a life story.
But
But your mother has 3 kids by 3 different men, and you had a baby at 19, and this is a cycle that needs to stop. You have a
yeah,
daughter.
right,
First thing I suggest is therapy
right.
because in a YouTube show, I'm only willing to talk about so many things that go so deep. But the fact of the matter is, you can have a baby at 19 because you knew, whether or not you wanted to admit it, that the government, the system, somebody was going to come help you. If this world were 300 years ago, a 19-year-old would not have a baby without a man because ain't nobody coming to help you. So,
Realistically, I did not have that. I
okay,
didn't
man,
have that help.
you,
I mean, I understand where you're coming
even
from.
if you had government assistance in the form of food stamps, that's help.
I understand.
That's help. Government assistance, WIC, TANF, Section 8, all these things are help. That takes the place of a man. And what the problem is, at 19, how are you moving differently at 27 from a maturity standpoint?
I would like to believe, well, not even like to believe, I have matured in so many different ways. And I say that
Okay.
as far as my lifestyle,
Okay.
the decisions and choices that I choose to
Are
make,
you
like
dating? Are you actively dating anyone right now?
actively dating, no. Would I like to? Absolutely.
But the thing is, man, and I go back to the question. Um, but you would like to date somebody, and outside of just companionship and sex, what is there? What are you guys? How are you going to benefit his life?
It's funny that you say that. I hear you speak about being submissive, cooperative, and all of those things. Um, to be a support, you understand? Like, if I lack in a specific area or if I'm lacking altogether, like you said, I believe in getting with the program, so to speak. So, not only are you submissive, cooperative, and all of those
Mhm.
things, but you also have to be willing to support that man in
Okay.
his journey as he
Okay,
is the
but that's
head.
that's kind of vague. That's not a
Okay.
good talking point. But that man, support him in his journey. I'm talking to men who are already in their journey and
Right.
they're supporting themselves just fine.
Understood.
So, what does a young mother? I mean, it's like what skill you have to bring something to a relationship.
Right.
I mean,
And
like,
I mean,
now
I hear that.
let me ask you some more questions. Uh, do you have a recipe book?
Um, not completely finished.
Okay. What does that mean?
I have like baking recipes. I don't have like everyday recipes. I
Okay,
have
so
things
so
like
who cooks for your child and you?
I do.
What do you eat?
Um, well, I love salmon, so salmon
My
is one of
my point is, man, you didn't
okay.
go to college. You went to high school and you're a young mother.
Oh God, this is
Okay,
what I was looking for.
but the thing is, you got to be able to bring something to a man that's an asset, not a blank slate. Point me in the
Understood.
direction, I'll do it. No,
That was my question.
no, that's not. It's that. And no offense, man, but if that's that's a child.
And
And
that's exactly what I would thank you for that. That's exactly what I was, I guess, trying to pull from you in that retrospect. And it's not that I'm not on a journey to become and be more than what I am right now. It's just at this current moment in this state, um, would I be acceptable? And from what I'm hearing is that
I don't know. Depends on what you
no, I'm
want.
not.
It depends on the kind. Okay, if you want a man who's in a high earning man, likely not. But most men don't. But average guys in that $40,000, $45,000, where the bulk of men are. Yeah, but the thing is, but those men still have something to do. They want something as well. because you have a
Right.
kid,
Mhm.
and the kid means somebody's going to have to pay that bill with you. And we're
Understand.
asking, what am I getting? And it sounds as though you, and I don't mean any disrespect, man, but as a
No,
young mother, you're trying to raise a girl while still trying to become a woman.
I'll give you that. That's the
So, so that means a man would have to take on a bona fide child, and
oh Lord, and a half a child.
there you go. And that's what you need to know you bring to the market.
So let me ask you this
And I got to
direct.
get to the next person because
Okay, let me ask you before you go really quickly.
go ahead.
Okay, so in this retrospect, should this be an instance where I should wait another 10 years when my child is, legally, she's an adult by that time? Um,
I don't know if it's necessarily 10 years, but you got to know what you, well,
should I wait? So should I be waiting to
no, you need
enter
to,
that
you need to be working. You need, okay.
itself?
No, listen, you're still trying to fill in the blanks. I said therapy's good. Therapy, so you can actually talk to a clinician to understand who you are, self awareness. And then you need to continue to grow up.
Right,
See, when you had a child at 19, many people were in college or starting their own lives. You were starting a life, you made another life.
right.
So, in effect,
Legit.
you had to stop maturing and start providing for this person. So, effectively, I can make an argument that you're still a 19-year-old from a maturity standpoint, arrested development.
Hmm.
And that 19-year-olds are not wives. Well, 19-year-old mothers are not wives. That means you have deficiencies that you need to clear up. Case in point, what do you do for a living?
Um, data entry, I guess, low level data entry, I guess you could say.
Who do you live with?
Myself and my daughter.
Okay. Um, do you make less than $50,000 a year?
Just under, yes.
All right. And if you were to lose this data entry job, what skills do you have that will sustain you for a lifetime?
What skills do I have? Well, I have a residential cleaning service that I run part time.
Okay. What skills do you, okay, but skills, marketable skills that you could take out. Cleaning service, I get it. But see, that's what I mean. You went from high school to mother and
Right,
you got a job. So, in effect, you're living like a lot of people, paycheck to paycheck, not really increasing any kind of skill sets. You're just it's in a holding pattern. There's no evolution. And your daughter's 8 and she may think the world of you, but there's a time where she's going to need you to step her through life.
right,
And who's the guidance? And it doesn't
right.
sound like your mother is a person who got you 3 kids by 3 different women, 3 different men, and I can't fix it right now. So that's why I say you, by deciding to have a child at 19, that's what it is. But
Right,
you're gonna but you got to put your life pretty much on pause to make sure she doesn't end up doing what you did.
right.
This is why having a child young is so problematic. But start with the therapy thing. I mean, like I said, oftentimes they'll do initial consultations for free, but this is not something I think you can do by yourself. And it doesn't sound like you have a support system or a network of people or women or even people around you that are going to be able to point you in a good direction. So I hope it works out for you, though. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
God, thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye. Guys, everybody that, that's hard. That was a hard one. Being young and a child. This is why having a kid, man, at a young age. There's a school of thought that says wherever we experience traumas and we don't fully uh, process those, we get stuck there. Um. All right. right, Shanice. All right. Wait. Go ahead, Gabby. Brielle, you're next. Gabby, unmute yourself. Gabby Lawrence, unmute yourself. Mm, Yeah, nobody heard anything you said. Nobody heard anything you said. You took all that time for nobody to hear anything you said. See, that's what y'all are raising. That's who's out here. He actually he thought somebody actually was gonna hear that. The only person that heard that was me and the two people right there. It was completely cut off of YouTube. See, it's called being screened, you dumb shit. Hi, how are you? Good, your first name. Mm, okay. So let me let you fall back. No, just a second. Okay. Thank you. All right. Marianne, unmute yourself. What you said? What did the trolls say? Nothing. I wish I had a daddy and somebody to love me and teach me how to be a man so I didn't talk like one of the Cosby kids. I'm ashamed of myself, but I really don't know how to communicate that, so I'm just going to act out like a grown ass fourth grader because I'm really inferior and insecure about my status in life. That's really what he said. I get it. Go ahead, Marianne. How are you? Hi. Good. Good. You need okay. How old are you? How old are you? Okay. Do you have you? Okay. You need to turn off YouTube in the background. The only window that needs to be open on your computer is Zoom because you sound like you have the TV on and some other things going on. Yeah, please do that. All right, you're 28 years old. What do you got for me?
Married. I have two
Married?
kids, two little girls,
You
five.
recently married?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
yes. I just got married on New Year's Eve. Um, I have two little girls, a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I just called in to basically get some advice on how to maintain my marriage and keep it healthy, even though I've brought in two other kids. Basically, just coming in for some advice.
Well, that's not really the topic. Where's your husband?
He is in Florida. I'm deployed right now.
Deployed where?
I'm actually doing border security. I can't give the exact
Okay,
location.
all right. And your children are with you or with him?
They're with my mother.
So your husband's someplace, your kids are someplace, and you're someplace. Is that it?
Yes. Yes.
Did your husband have any children?
No, he does not.
How long were you guys together before you got married?
A year.
Why are your children not with your husband?
Um, Not sure actually. I just thought it would be a little bit too much on him since we haven't lived together. So they're
You
with
mean,
my
whoa, whoa, whoa,
mother.
whoa, 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 whoa. You mean you haven't lived together?
We've never lived together prior to marrying. So the plan
You
is
got married
after
on
my
New. Hold on. You
deployment.
got married on New Year's Eve,
Yes.
and then you deployed when?
I actually deployed in October, but I got married on my pass on New Year's Eve.
How old is your husband?
He's 28, like me.
Um, I think you know that this is problematic because if you get married, why? Why'd y'all get married?
We wanted to start our lives together after
But
my
you're not living your
deployment.
life. But you're not. But you're not.
Mhm.
You don't have a lot. You're in one place. Your husband is another place. Your kid is another place.
Mhm. Yes. The plan was, well, it is. The plan is for us to move together once this deployment is over. I've
Okay.
got
What
8
does
more
he do? What does
months.
he do for a living?
Fixes computers.
That could mean a lot of things. I mean, that could mean he goes into a local kiosk and works on computers.
No, he works from home.
Does he own his own business?
Yes.
Did he go? Did he train for this? Or is this something he
Went to
does on?
college.
Did he graduate?
Yes.
Does he earn more than you?
Yes.
Because some things aren't making sense. You got two kids by the same father or by two different fathers?
Same father.
Okay. Well, the first red flag, ma'am, is you're not you're the man you chose to marry does not have your children are with your mother.
Mm.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Did he not want them?
No, it wasn't that he didn't want them. It's just that he's never raised kids before. So he wanted
So
time to gather himself so that we could come together, with the kids and raise
no,
them
but that's not
together.
what's happening. You're away for
Mhm.
8 months.
Mhm.
Are they even in the same state? Your husband and your kids?
No, they're not.
Man, this sounds like a marriage of financial convenience.
It's not. We both
Okay,
make pretty good money.
I didn't say you were broke. I said financial convenience. When you're in the military, don't you guys get a different? Well, anyway, your if he is
No,
those kids are away, how is he going to ever get close to those kids or learn anything about those kids if they're not living under his roof?
they will be, just not at this point in time.
They'll be 8 months older too.
Mhm.
They'll be 8 months older, and you'll be introducing your husband to their stepfather at the end of the year.
He's been around them before. It's not like
You'll
he's
be
never
introducing him
been.
in the household.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
So what was the sense? What was the urgency of getting married if you're not going to do married stuff?
Oh, I guess we just felt like it was the right time,
Who wanted to get married? You or him?
both of us.
No, no. Who wanted to get married? You or him?
Well, he did. He asked me to
Okay.
marry him.
He wanted you to marry him, but you're deployed.
Mhm.
How long were you with your child's father?
2 years.
2 years, and you made two kids.
Mhm.
We got to run that timeline. You said your kids are 5 and 4.
Yes, I had them pretty much back to back, and
And
we separate.
why didn't you guys marry?
He didn't want to marry me.
Okay, then I got to ask. Then why have kids?
Excuse me.
I got to ask. Then he didn't want to marry you. Then why have a second kid?
Just not being smart at the time, just making poor decisions.
Have you had any kind of counseling or therapy?
I've been to therapy.
Are you currently in it?
Yes,
Yes. And how long have you been in? How long have you been seeing a clinic? Are you seeing a clinician?
No, I actually see a counselor through the military. They offer it for free.
Okay, but
So I get like an hour session every week.
is that a psychiatrist?
Psychologist.
They can't prescribe medications. Okay. And the reason I'm asking, ma'am, is you're a young woman with 2 kids, with a
Mhm.
man you were with for 2 years, but you had 2 children with a man, and that was just kind of he didn't want to marry me. But now these kids are 4 and 5. Is their father involved
Yes.
in their life at all?
Yes.
Is he in the same place where the kids are, in the same city?
No.
So how is he involved in their life?
He pays child support. He sees them when he can. He's also military now.
So your mother is raising your kids.
For now, while I'm away.
Is your mother married?
No, she's not.
Where's your father?
He's around, but he didn't raise me.
Does your mother have any additional children?
No, just me.
So she has her granddaughters.
Yes.
This is a mess. This is a mess. I don't know why y'all got married, but the fact that you're deployed, your mother is now raising her granddaughters, your husband is living in another place with his wife in another, this makes no sense. You got everybody's life on hold. You got your mama's life on
Sounds
hold
like
because,
it.
hold on, huh?
Mhm.
Hello?
Yes.
You got everybody's life on hold. You got your mama's life on hold because she's doing your mama job. You got your husband's life on hold because he's living somewhere without a wife.
Mhm. Yes.
You're not living, marriage is not just, you don't just do this stuff.
Mhm.
So I think you need to sit down with a clinician. You may have a psychologist. How long have you been seeing this person?
A year,
Oh yeah.
almost a year,
Oh
give
Jesus.
or take.
You've been seeing this person longer than you've been married. That's what I don't
Yeah.
understand. You've been seeing this person and you decide to get married,
Mm.
but you can't even live like husband and wife. It makes no sense.
At least not now.
No, no, just not now, period. Because there's no order, there's no structure. Your daughters are with your mom, your husband somewhere else.
Mm.
This it's like this. Everybody's everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, Marriages like these don't tend to last
Mm.
because the foundation is the first year, and you've not lived with your husband.
Mm.
How long you been
Yeah.
seeing this person?
A year.
You saw him for a year, but have you guys ever been in the same geography, same city?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You're questioning them how to make this stable. I don't know how you make something this chaotic
Yeah.
stable. But um
Yeah. Um,
what?
yeah, I come back from deployment in October or November,
Yeah,
depending.
that's the end of the
And
year, man. That's a whole year. We're also almost a year away. And for a 4 and a 5, that's a long time. That's 25%
yes,
of one kid's life and 20% of another life. That's a year away from the man you said I do to in January. That's not even normal, man. You should want to be by your husband. There's a lot amiss here. And
I
I don't,
do. I do want to be with my husband. It's just the circumstance right now. I never expected to be deployed. I actually have been in for 9 years and I've never deployed until now. So the plan was never to
I get it.
leave.
Okay, even
Yeah.
deployment, but the deployment's not the problem. The problem is your kids are living with your mom and not your husband. He's your
Yeah.
husband. If you
Mhm.
don't trust him enough to be with the kids, why did you marry him?
It's not that I didn't trust him. It was just something
What
that was agreed.
if your mama wasn't there? Where would they have to be? If your mama was Thanos snapped or gone, where would the kids have to be?
Either with my husband or with their father, one or the
And
other.
where would they be?
Probably be with their father.
Well, damn, then you shouldn't have married this man. How about that? I'm not understanding a husband.
Mhm.
He's their stepfather, right?
Yes.
And you just said their father is not really involved. He pays child support and he's deployed. He's not in the same place. Has he ever
He's
raised
military
those?
as well.
Have you ever raised those? What's the longest? Has he ever spent months and months with those with his daughters?
Yes.
Okay, I can't really go any further with this. I got me all off my show, but I don't know what this is.
I'm sorry.
No, but I don't
The
know.
sound
But
skipped a little.
I said, ma'am,
Mhm.
somebody needs to be in charge of this, and it sounds like it's the blind leading the blind. I don't know why a man would marry a woman and be away from her for a year and then have this stepchildren living with his mother-in-law. Y'all are just married on paper. Y'all are just married on paper. Um, and you talk about starting a firm foundation. You don't. You've already started fractured. I don't know why y'all got married. Um, I assume you expect him to be faithful to you until November.
Yeah, I would hope he would be.
Well, hope that's a childish notion. This isn't a marriage.
What, what would you suggest that
Seeking
I do after this?
seek an annulment now. Annul this marriage. This is not a marriage. Annul it. Void it. Void it. Annul it. And then when you are in the same city as this man is, and he still wants to marry you, then you got to start off right. But right now, this is all wrong.
Mhm.
That's the best I can offer, young lady. All right.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Sometimes we just got to stop. When you're in a hole, stop digging. Annulling a marriage would make the most sense because that's not a marriage. I'm not unmuting anybody unless you get on camera. The only way any of you are going to get on. Hey, you guys want to see the stupid troll back with the same white girl picture? Y'all want to see him? Let's show him. He thinks he's smart. Let's go ahead and show him. No, don't run away. Don't run away. I wanted to ask you where your daddy was. Because he obviously didn't raise you. Bring yourself back. Aw. You thought you had some smoke and you just turned out to be a joke. Poor little boy. Gotta get better, man. You gotta get better. This idiot actually thought just because he put up a gif of somebody stroking their hair, I was like I'm gonna believe that. Oh, look, a white woman. I'll let the white woman talk because, like you, I'm fascinated when a white woman wants to speak. Let me put her on the camera right now and act like you would have acted. Didn't work out that well, did it? Either one of you guys need to get on the camera or we don't go. Poor things. Huh. Start video. Start video. I can't answer your question. If you can't cam up, I can't talk to you. So if you cannot cam up, I will bid you adieu. That's how that works. I am dead serious. If you can't cam up, don't ask me anything. Don't come in, can't. Don't come into the Zoom, type messages in the chat room, and then ask. Nope. Mm-mm. I meant what I said. Yeah, that was Cornbread's little son, Oatmeal. Cornbread's son, Oatmeal. Actually, Cornbread little son, Oatmeal. Oatmeal. Oh man, I thought I was gonna tell him. I thought it was going to work. It did not work. Oh, I spent all that time trying to plan for a time. And here's the funny thing: when he got up here and talked, all he did was say some Cosby Kid shit. Hey, but maybe you womba beeba womba womba womba. Look at you over there in that old suit about the hibba dooba dooba hubba. Hibbity hoobity hubba ba 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 ba. You do realize no one can hear your spot 'em got 'em signing ass, right? Ooh, he the plug. Call me Kobe. Another 4 bricks on me. Come on, dude. Come on, spot him. Ooh, he the plug. Call me Kobe. 4 bricks on me. Mad as shit. And he came back. Can you at least get a different white woman? Can you get a different white woman? I mean, there's a lot of white women to pick from. Pick from another white woman. You need another white woman, not a white girl that looks like she's in high school. Unmute you. I'll unmute you. Mm-hmm. I'll unmute you. I'll unmute him. Look at him. He like, talk to me. Talk to me. Look at this is daddy issues on. This is daddy issues on display. Daddy issues on display. Daddy issues on display. Talk to me. Acknowledge me. I am a man. I am a black man and acknowledge me. Cornbread is my daddy, but that don't mean ain't I a man too? Forget you and your high value stuff. I'ma be somebody one day. Forget what they told me in elementary. I can do it. I can do it. Hey, y'all see the white girl? That's actually a black man right there. Y'all see that? Y'all see that white girl that's a black man? She keeps stroking her hair like this. It's the same picture on a loop. Oh, let's. Oh my. So you stay right there, Cornbread. She got 6 kids. I bet you do. You got an active imagination. Roxanne, go ahead. Look at what's happened to our children. I'm good. I'm better than this. Look at she's looking at that picture like, God damn. This is what. Go ahead. What do you got for me on topic? Go ahead. Huh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what is your perspective on when a woman has already had children and someone still married her?
Okay. A woman's already had children and somebody married her? She
Yeah.
won.
All right. Thanks, bro. That's
She won. I mean, you got married, you won. That's it. It's a
okay.
win. Have
All
a good
right.
one.
That's all I wanted to know. I'm not going to keep
No
you.
problem.
I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. She
All right.
won.
Bye bye.
She won. Unmute you? Aw. Do I really have to? Say, nod your head and say yes. What time is it? It's midnight. Y'all want some troll action? Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh my. Um, what part of the world are you from? Uh, what's this person's name? Oh, yeah. Oh, you cussed at me. Uh-oh. Oh no, not you. It's this dude with the white girl picture. Let's do this real quick. I'm gonna put you over here, and we're gonna put them right here. Zaria, just a second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Put you right back. Let's do this. Coming to the stage.
I rebuke.
Uh-oh, now the white girl is actually now see you dumbass. Oh, little boy. What your first name is? Let's do this. What's your first name, Cosby Kid? What your first name is, Cosby Kid? What your first name is, Cosby Kid? What your first Nobody can hear you, man. Nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you. You're talking to see what you're doing right now. See what you're doing right now? You're making me money. You're making me money. You're talking to the wall. And he came in here just to say, you test tube baby. He went to college to be a sandwich artist at Subway. A goddamn shame. It's a damn shame. You need to be better than that, man. You got to be better than that. But to tell you, that's how, see, they got a prison cell all picked out for you. Actually, probably don't. They're like, we don't even want to lock him up. Just let him go. We don't even want to talk to him. We don't want to talk to him. Just let him go. Just let him go. Move him out to Anchorage or someplace. We just let him go. No, you're good. No charges. We just don't want to talk to you. Nope. No 3 hots in the cot. No nothing. Nope. No, Your Honor. Nope. We're gonna dismiss all charges. Please, just leave. Just leave, sir. Just leave. No one wants to talk to you. You have no friends. Your mama don't like you. Your dog wouldn't even eat your homework. That's how sad he was. Go ahead, Zari. Go ahead. Hold on just a second before we do that. We have to introduce ourselves. Hi. And you're 18. You have no children. Okay, well, what do you have on this topic? Because you have no kids. That's not the subject. Did you find me on YouTube? Are you kidding me? There's a title of the video. What do you guys think this is? You just click on in order to find me, you had to find me on YouTube. And below YouTube, There's a title. That's the title of the video. She came in talking about, I'm from Chicago, and I just want to know, did the men require women to go to college? Now get back on camera. I mean, you're 18 years old, and it asks, ladies, does having a kid lower your value? And she came in to talk about, I just want to know, the men require us to go to college. No, men require you to follow instructions and to be respectful. So the topic is about kids. And the reason I'm saying this is because we got to stop this. Just jumping on and making up our own rules and doing our own thing. If there's no need to have a subject, if I'm let everybody just talk about anything. No, men don't require women to go to college. I don't even know what that means. Boy, gone away. Get out of here. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It clearly says no men, women only. It says no men, women only. It says no men, women only. In the chat room, in the Zoom call, it says no men, women only. I don't think he understands. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and boot you because you're not seeming to get it. But appreciate it. Reading is fundamental, folks. Okay. What I've gathered from this topic is that for the most part, I think when I talk to women one-on-one, especially face-to-face, they know that having a child, especially for a man you weren't married to, you have to explain that. And you're going to have to, regardless, if you weren't married, ladies, you're going to have to come up with a way to explain why you are where you are. And the things that will not work with productive, competitive, successful men or high value men, or most men will not accept this. I was young and dumb. That will not suffice. I was young and dumb will not suffice as a reason. It was an accident. That will not suffice. 33 forms of female birth control. The pill makes me gain weight, fat, whatever. Bullshnat. Get an IUD. There are all kinds of forms of birth control. And then afterwards, there is plan B. Well, he wore a condom. That's him protecting himself. You're supposed to protect yourself. So what men realize today is any child that is born was a choice that the woman made. If you were not married, after insemination, you chose. Men cannot control whether or not a child is born or not. We can't. You do. I was young and dumb. It was a mistake. These things, accountability, upfront, strict accountability. Men are tired of hearing, he wasn't good enough for me. My BD is a bum. Because the next question is, then why are you making babies or doing stuff with these dudes? Strict accountability. And that's for one. I mean, look at what happened with MJ, Michael Jackson. I mean, I think most men, and some guys are willing to at least hear it out. It's far easier to explain away one than with two. If you got multiple, Multiple kids? I don't know what you ladies are expecting. You can't say, oops, I was young and dumb every time. Everybody in the Zoom call, you must get on camera. You must cam up in order to get on the call. If you're not going to cam up, leave. Nee, cam up. Pamela, cam up. Mark, cam up. Cam up. All you cam up or leave. I don't deal with ugly dirty rooms. You need to clean up your room. Who are these people, man? So, plausible. And, I have one. Me and the child's father didn't work out. He's a great guy. There's no problems with him. But as soon as you start running that man down, you lose points in a man's eyes. As soon as you start running him down, you lose points. That's the truth. Hey, N.E., I am going to bounce you out. What is wrong with you dudes, man? Do you guys not understand that it says women only? Well, I can show you better than I can tell you. Hey, man, I'm going to remove you again. Please don't come back. I don't care what it is. You say you're a woman. I don't care. I don't see a woman. Evans, last name Evans. Camera at the ceiling. What you got? Let me go ahead and unmute you. I'm going to go ahead and remove Pamela because you're not following instructions. And NE, I'm going to remove you too because you're not acting too bright. And I'm just not going to do it. I need you to, okay, Miss Evans, hold the camera steady and let's go ahead and unmute. Do that. Unmute yourself, please. Yep. Hi, how are you? How old are you? Do you have any children? Okay, what do you got for me on the topic?
I guess or my question is, because I completely get how like having children can, I guess, negatively or positively, depending on who you're asking. But for the most part, I can see how they could make somebody not want to marry you in the long term. But I guess what my confusion with your videos, even though I agree with the most part for what you be saying about single mothers and stuff like that, I know from what I see when women say that we be settling on certain aspects, I feel like that may not be the right word to use.
What's the ultimate question you have? Because you're kind of.
What should we expect? Like since you're saying that we shouldn't necessarily be
expect from men. Expect from men
or high value man.
What should you expect from men?
As far as dating, like
I can answer. Let me answer that question for you. You can expect no higher than what you got from the children's father. That's who you chose to make a baby with. You have one kid or two kids? Two? By one or two men?
One.
That's the top bar. You can expect no higher than that from men because that's the man you chose to give the highest honor you can give to any man on the planet. Men do not want to pay more than the previous driver. You're older as a woman. You've reproduced. And name me a product on the market that gains value with use and age. It doesn't. That's why who you make a baby with matters so much. That's the top line. Also, when you said you can see how it could be a negative or a positive, depending upon it's rare. What situations would it be a positive for another man?
Well, I feel like and I'm not a man, so I can't speak from a man's point of view, but I guess I can imagine like for older men who may not have been able to have their own children, they
buy.
may,
Well,
it may not be that big of a
well,
negative.
if they wanted children, okay, rarely. See, that's another utopian idea women have been told that men, older men who didn't have a child. No, if a man, especially a successful man, wanted to have kids, he could have. And just because they didn't have theirs, they don't want yours either. If they wanted kids, there are plenty of women who want to have children. Just like women say, you could adopt. But why would a man want to get to his latter years not having fathered any children and then want the financial and emotional responsibility of another man's children? That's hard. You're not young to be chasing kids around and dealing with that. But unfortunately, these are the options that women have after they choose to have a child out of wedlock, especially as you start moving up. But let me go back. Why, when I said that you can't get any, your BD is the top line, why did you make that face like, damn?
Well, because I feel like I was young when I had
What did
children.
I
That's
just
not.
say? What did I just say, guys? You cannot keep using this reason. I was young. First one out of my mouth. First thing out of my mouth is you ladies got to stop saying I was young. It was a mistake. It was a learning experience. No, strict accountability. The world doesn't owe you or me an understanding, young lady. You have 2 kids, not 1. The world could even understand 1. It's an accident, condom broke, on birth control. But 2, that's a plan. What's the child's father doing?
I mean, not to go into too much detail, but it turned into an abusive relationship. So eventually I had to step away from the situation. We were engaged, but I kept putting it off for obvious reasons. And then something happened and I was like, we just can't do this no more. So I stepped away.
Is he still involved in the kid's life?
As much as he can be.
All right.
Considering the situation.
So when you made that face, it was because the top line was a man that you don't think too highly of, apparently. And I can respect that, man, but I'm sorry. You're coming to other men in the world and saying, hey, I would like marry me and accept children with me from a man that I don't think too highly of. That don't sound too good. I mean, make it sound good. I mean, I don't sound too good to me.
I mean, when you put it like that, you can't
that's the way it is. Ma'am, when I asked you about your child's father, you winced like, ooh, that's the top line? Well, ma'am, the highest honor you can give a man is to take his seed into the next generation. The man you're supposed to do that for is supposed to man you have respect for, reverence for. You think enough of him to want to risk your life to carry his child because you can die in this process, right? But see, that's the point. Today, modern women, we've civilized the world in general to where having a baby really doesn't cost you anything. You get pregnant, you assume you're going to live. You assume you're going to live. You assume the child is going to be healthy, and you assume that child is going to make it into adulthood because men have civilized the world in general and damn near all but eliminated women's death in pregnancy. Infant mortality is at all-time lows. And if you have a kid, you can rely on the government to have some sort of safety blanket, even if it just comes down to if you don't use it. Food and that other kind of stuff. But then once you have that kid, the world is where it is. And you're out there in the world and you're out dating, and just like you, the men you want have options. That doesn't make you a bad person. But it does say that, do you have a son or a daughter?
2 daughters.
All right, 2 daughters. If you had sons, would you want him to bring home a woman with 2 kids from another man that she went with, or would you want him to start his own family?
I'm gonna be honest. I would prefer him to start his own family. She made him happy, cool. But if we're gonna be honest, you would tell your children you would want them to start a family on their
Well,
own.
thank you for being honest, man. And what I need you ladies to start understanding is every man you run into is somebody's son. And just like you would love yours, they love theirs. So I said it before you got on. In my personal opinion, women are going to have to find a far more effective way to explain why you are where you are. And it cannot be, I was young and dumb. It was a mistake. It was an experience. And why the relationship ended. It's almost predictable. We were engaged. All these women were engaged. And then all the relationship ended because of some form of abuse. I'm like, I have never met so many former engaged, abused women in my natural existence, ever. But it seems like online, we seem to meet so many women who seem to have a similar story. To where honestly, most men don't believe it. I mean, if I can be honest, most men don't believe the stuff that most women say regarding their children, because we've heard it too many times. I hope that kind of helped understand why men look at it the way they do. That doesn't mean you can't win. That doesn't mean that life is over. But you got to figure out a way to explain it, and you have to find a way to make your children an appealing asset to the kind of man you want. You have to figure that out. You have to figure out a way to make your children an appealing asset to the kind and caliber of man you want. It's not up to him. It's up to you.
Okay.
All right. Hope that helped. Appreciate it. Remember what I was saying, guys? That it can't be the same. Oops, I was young. I mean, think about it. It's the same. I was young. It was a mistake. It was an experience. I learned from it. Why did the relationship end? This train is never late. We were engaged. 70% of the time, we were engaged. But if you ask about the details of the engagement, where he proposed to you, how the ring was presented, and then inevitably, why did the relationship end? It was mutual. It's either it was mutual, or if it wasn't mutual, I broke it off because of the A word, a bus. No, men are done with that, ladies. You got to have better reason than that. Angela, go ahead. Unmute yourself. I am well. How old are you? Cool. Do you have any children? Oh, okay. Were you married to the father? That's a different category, though. Okay, but what do you have on the topic? It's a different category.
Okay, well, my situation is a little different because I've been co-parenting with my ex-husband for as long as we've been divorced, obviously. And
But your children are 16, 17, and 18, right?
Yes, sir.
So they're almost out of the house, and you were married. So you're in your situation is much different.
Well, okay. Well, if I may
Go
ask
ahead.
a question.
Sure.
I haven't really had a relationship since my divorce.
Okay.
And because I prioritize being a parent over dating or trying to establish another relationship. And I didn't want to bring my, I guess.
So what's the question?
I guess my question is how do I get back out there and start dating again? I mean,
how long have you been divorced?
Oh gosh. This year will be 14 years.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I know.
But gotta ask the question. I got to ask the question as polite way
Yes,
as
sir.
possible. If you haven't
Yes.
dated in 14 years, how you scratch your itch?
I mean, I've casually dated
Okay.
like here and there,
But you haven't
but
had a relationship.
no, sir.
So if you were laid up in the hospital for 14 years with your leg in a cast, that muscle would have atrophied. Your dating muscles have atrophied. And that's where you're at. How do you get back out here? Depends on what kind of outcome do you want. What do you, if and when you get back out here, what do you want with a man? What kind of outcome?
I don't know how realistic it is for me to be married again, but I don't want to just be shacking up with uh, a
Why?
man. No long.
Why?
Well,
Why?
because I have a
Because you're almost
daughter.
50. Let me just rubber meets the road on this. You're almost 50 years old.
I know.
Ain't nobody, most men ain't trying to marry a 50-year-old woman. I mean, most men. I'm not saying all, most. Because most men who want to get married want kids out of the deal. Because marrying you may be a perfectly lovely woman, but when a man enters a marital contract in the West, men become very exposed financially. Very. What if that you haven't had a relationship in 14 years? You get married and it doesn't go well, you've divorced, you can still pursue him in court. And you know, just like I know, women don't tend to leave divorce court destitute. Men do. This is why men typically are not looking to marry if there's not a real incentive. Children are a major incentive. What will be the incentive for a man to marry you since children are not on the table? That's what you're going to have to figure out if and when you decide to get back out and dating. I think it's going to be hard. I think just having a committed, monogamous, emotionally profound relationship for the rest of your life is far more plausible. But it's not what most women want. You want the security.
Mm-hmm.
But you already had that and you left it.
Yes, sir. But can I explain why? I guess I'm prioritizing marriage over just having a long-term relationship. It's because of my daughter. I don't want her to think it is okay to just be in some long-term relationship and
That's
not
fine, but
have.
men control access to marriage, not you. You can prioritize it all you want to, and it's up to a man to initiate it.
That's true. I
You can
understand.
set your standard as high as wherever you like to, and that's your right. But it is up to, but you have to have men who want to meet that. And in order to meet that, there has to be an incentive. What is that? What's the incentive for a man to meet your standard?
I guess when you put it that way, really nothing in the case because I'm not, in a position to have any more children and I'm, too
I'm
old.
just saying. I'm just saying that in the West, women have been told you can have it all, and the men are supposed to want nothing. You guys have your standards, and all I'm saying is fine. But what's the incentive for him to do that? And if you want something, I expect women who say you want something, you don't want anything less because of this outcome. I expect y'all to fight for it. I expect y'all to work for it just like you expect men to work to meet your standard. That's not asking too much. And when I ask women the question more often than not, more likely than not, y'all just quit.
Okay,
Do it
but
well.
may I ask
Do wrong.
another question? Don't you think it would be a bad example for me to having a 16-year-old daughter and I end up getting in a relationship with a guy and we
I
move
don't
in
think
together?
your daughter is who she is. She don't give a shit about what you do with your life. Who do you think she is? She's 16. She can make babies herself.
Oh God, I
I
wouldn't
mean,
want
yeah, I
that.
mean, they're
I
your
don't-
babies, but they're not babies.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
news for y'all. Your daughters, you really want the truth? I'm gonna be honest. Most daughters don't want to grow up and be like their mothers alone. That's why this channel is growing. It wasn't when I said average or best, it was die alone.
Right.
That's why these young women are coming to this platform saying, I don't want to be like my mama, my big mama, my name. I don't want to live by myself, focusing on my kids and such and so forth. And then when I become an empty nester, think I'm gonna just pull a man down off the shelf and get him to put me up here. Nope, that ain't how this shit works.
Okay.
You got a standard you want met, then you need to get out there and hustle and work and meet it. I mean, that's fair. I think that's fair. Well, when I said it, you almost was like, "Oh, that sounds like work. I'm gonna quit."
I mean, admittedly, I view dating as somewhat of a chore, because I hear stories about other friends in my cohort that are all their drama and things that they
Yeah,
go
and
through.
how many of these women are drop dead gorgeous and in shape?
Mm,
Mm-hmm. So I
not
thought,
very many.
right.
Yeah,
How about just in shape? Dress size
maybe
6 or
two,
less.
maybe two of them.
Dress
Yeah,
size 6 or less.
I would say one.
Uh-huh.
Teat.
Uh-huh. And I'm sure she's just the nicest, most feminine, friendly, cooperative person to be around, right?
Actually, she is. She
No,
got
to a
a
man.
plum.
To a man. To a man. Not to a woman, to a man.
No, she is. I've
Really?
seen her interact with her
Uh-huh.
ex.
Then why is she single?
Well, because she had a bum deal with her last relationship. It was
Always the
very
man's
unfortunate.
fault. Always the man's fault. Always.
I'm not blaming them. See, the
She said they had
situation.
a bum deal in their last situation.
Yeah, the guy that she was with in a long-term relationship ended up getting another girl pregnant. And she was a
Okay.
good Christian girl, and he just messed her over, and he's still trying to get back.
Of course. And she was just Pollyanna purebred. She never did nothing wrong. She's just a good Christian girl. How old is this woman?
She's 36.
36. Does she have any children?
No.
Mm-hmm. And they did it for how long?
Oh, goodness, 4 years?
He didn't marry her. Why?
I'm not certain about
Because
that.
she wasn't a wife. See, what you want to look at, you want to take your friend's side. If your friend is the woman you're trying to describe, then why didn't he marry her? And then why would he go out and get another woman pregnant? So y'all side with each other because you believe the hype. I don't believe the hype. I just look at the results. I just look at the results. Because if she was what you're trying to say, then she should have had plenty of options. Because attractive, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, attractive 36-year-olds got plenty of options, especially with no children. Trust me. Those women don't lack for options. So they don't have to choose to get what they do. Now, I'm not going to say men are perfect. I'm not going to say that. She may have had a bum deal, as you say, but then, okay, why be there for 4 years? Why do we in the black community we do this for too long? We date
I kind of
forever.
told her she waited too long, that he should
But
have.
why are you telling her that? Why didn't she value her? Why didn't she put a clock on herself?
I don't
See,
know.
she was complicit in this too.
Yeah, and I agree with you, sir. Yeah,
But
I do.
that you agree with me now that I've done some digging and probing. Out of your mouth, you said she got a bum deal, and I call bullshit. That's why I'm sitting right here. Because I call bullshit when you ladies come in with these sob ass stories.
Okay. But you don't think it was wrong for the other guy to get
I didn't
another?
say it wasn't wrong, but I'm saying that she was complicit as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And you don't, and here's the thing. Okay, let's go there. Your friend never cheated on her man.
I don't know.
I'll be that damn.
I don't know. I mean,
But okay, would it surprise you to find out if she did?
no.
Okay, then. So there's evidence of his cheating, but there's none of hers. So you just assume she didn't.
Well, but I'm just going off her character and what I know
All
of her.
right, character, right. You, guys, it's
But I do know
character.
that anyone's capable of anything,
She's a good
regardless of
Christian girl, right?
how they appear. Yes.
She's a good Christian girl. She go to church every Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. But she was having sex.
Well, yeah.
Ooh, wham. Do you want to talk to me about character at 36? Let me say it again.
Okay, you got
Too
me.
easy. Too easy. Too easy. You guys believe the best in your friends. I trust me. Your friends are impure as driven snow. And I guarantee you, she had cheated. Even if it wasn't physical, I guarantee she had other men in her Rolodex. Was she on dating apps?
That I think after they broke up, she
Uh-huh.
did go
She
on
have an
there.
Instagram page?
She has Facebook.
Uh-huh. That has an inbox, guarantee you. Let's look. Do you think her inbox is stand? You think her inbox during a relationship could stand up to the light of day, light of sunlight? Think her text messages could stand up to the light to this platform in her relationship?
Uh,
Hell no, they wouldn't. That's cheating. So just because he got somebody pregnant, that just means he wasn't good at it. She was.
got a point there.
I know. Back to you, ma'am. If you want something, then you have to be willing to work to get what you want. Sounds to me like you want something without work.
Well, I have been working out and getting into shape, and I hired a trainer and all that.
That
So I'm in the process
goes
of dropping.
that goes into another thing. This is really the bigger problem when dating after 35. Women let themselves go physically. And then when you decide to flip the switch, you're so far behind on the fitness thing, it's almost like an insurmountable task. And that
Actually, I had two major surgeries, orthopedic surgeries on my feet last year. So I was inactive. So I gained
ma'am,
some weight from
I
that.
get it. But you're going to know what I'm going to say. Right, wrong, or indifferent, the world does not owe you or me understanding. That's all it comes down to. Men ultimately look and say, "That's what men are saying. That's too bad," and they're gonna go on and get the woman that they want because I broke an ankle and I was laid up for 13 weeks non-weight bearing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't gain a bunch of weight because I watched what I put in my mouth.
All right.
I don't listen to a lot of excuses a lot of women have because the thing is, you ladies have been told relationships are easy to come by and that you are the prize and that a man will be lucky. And what you're realizing is, it's competitive out here. And the kind and caliber of man that I want is rare. I ain't gonna have to do something to get him. I mean, unless you're talking about dating a guy that's on fries at McDonald's or a sandwich or at the Subway. I mean, would you date a guy that's making $40,000 a year?
Honestly, no, because of the type of stuff I like to do and
Wow.
things that I like to do.
Wow. Why? The median income for a black man is running around 41.5 or 41,500. What state do you live in?
I live in Georgia. I'm in Atlanta
Oh,
area.
okay. Ma'am, hold on. This might get bumpy.
Oh,
You're 48
Lord.
years old?
Yes, sir.
How tall are you?
I am 5'7".
Dress size?
My dress size is a 10 right now, but I'm
Okay.
losing, like I said.
Okay. Um, I'm not even going to ask you how much you weigh, but the reality for women is still this. Your asking price goes down with age, not up with wisdom and experience.
And I
You
do
still
realize.
you still want to date like you were 20 with no kids. You're 48 and you will be fortunate to find a man making 45, $50,000 a year. That's right in the middle. That's the sweet spot. Who would be willing to go through the rest of this life with you. You will be fortunate to find that. If you start putting anything on top of that, as far as a financial requirement, because of the kind of stuff you like to do, then you are talking about pricing yourself out of the market.
The only reason why I say that is because I know you had mentioned previously when women make more than men, that it can become a problem. And it's not that I have a
What happened? Oh, here we go. You said it become a problem.
Yes, I think you had mentioned that on one of your previous shows before. Um, because I think your ideas, the
I'm
modern
also
woman.
we're talking about women who were still in the marriage with children phase, not women who are in the, ma'am, almost 50. I know what the prognosis like. We're talking about 20 to 30 more years of life left.
Right. I understand.
And what kind of money? And what kind of money are we talking about? We talk about a man making 100,000 more.
He doesn't have to make 100,000. I mean, I'm just saying being in the same tax bracket as I am. Even if he's on the lower end, I mean, it doesn't even
Why?
matter.
Why does that matter? Why do
Well,
you?
because
Why do?
we will have bills, and I
No,
have a
you have
mortgage.
bills. You have bills that you can. All you need is somebody who can be self sufficient. You can take care of you. He can take care of him. That means you should be just fine. The problem is you want him to come up to your lifestyle level. And that's fine. But the men at your lifestyle level want different things.
Right.
Your tax bracket
Mhm.
is a tombstone. I'm serious. Because ladies got to understand that if you're talking about a man making $75,000 or more, that's 15% of black men. Those men have a lot of options. A lot. And they don't typically go for women who are their same age. They typically go for women who are younger. You know why not? And you know why they don't? Because we're contemporaries. Men my age are tired of hearing the kind of stuff you're saying from women. We've lived our entire lives with it. I won't date women my age. I refuse to. All expectation, no delivery. And if I found one my age that wasn't that way, I'd be pleasantly surprised. Would I date us? Likely not. Because I don't have to. And what you're saying you want a man for, you haven't had one in 14 years. Do you respect, man? Why do you think you can ask for more than average when you have below average relationship skills?
Well, that's something I'm willing to work on, I think.
But you'll work on it.
Interpersonal skills.
That means you'll be practicing on him. You'll be on the job training. Well, on the job training with low skills comes in at minimum wage, not CEO. You haven't had a relationship in 14 years. How long were you married?
10 years.
Huh?
10 years.
How many?
10. Can you not hear
10.
me?
No, I
10
couldn't.
years.
10 years. So you've been divorced longer than you're married, but 10 years is still a long time. But the point is 24 years. So arguably the last time you were out affected really on the dating market, which is in your early 20s. The Cosbys and shit was still, yeah, that was not the Cosbys. That was the late 90s. Man, the world has changed. And your relationship skills arguably are back that woman who was 22 years old, because that 10-year period, you were being customized for that one man. And of the 14 years, you have had no real interaction with men from a dating standpoint. Hooking up, casual sex, that's one thing, but not interaction. That's far too many struggles to put a financial target on. I mean, you can do it, but I don't know who you expect to fulfill that. Because if you expect to date men around your same age, if a man is 52 years old, 55 years old, making your same tax bracket, don't you realize you're competing with every woman that's 21 years old or older who wants him to?
Yeah, that's the trepidation I have about dating, because I do realize that. I do have male friends who, one recently divorced, a little older than me. I think he's like 50, 51 now. And the women he dates are in their 30s. So
Yeah,
I have a lot
50.
of
I'll be
trepidation about
52, and
dating for
I don't
that
date.
reason.
And I will tell you, I don't show the women I date because it will be a problem. And that's the point, ma'am. So what I'm saying is the way women like yourself talk about dating is as if you have all the power and leverage, and you have none, little to none, in the very real world sense. So when a man who's an average earning man hears a woman who has real little to no real world sexual marketplace leverage, act as if, speak as if, talk as if these men are beneath them, it defies logic. That's why you see a lot of times people say delusion and denial. Because, like, where are all these men that give women that level of entitlement? Where are they? Because the men I know, just like your friends, they ain't checking for women that old. For these very reasons. I think this is a good conversation, but ma'am, I would say you got to get far more realistic about your options. And a man is not there. You don't need a man for that kind of money anyway. You don't have any kids. You're not putting anybody through. You need somebody who can. If your lifestyle is that expensive, then you might need to downsize, which is what a lot of people are starting to do. Too much house, too much car, too much credit, too
Well,
many
that's the
clothes.
plan anyway. Yeah, that's the plan.
Well,
anyway,
then, then you would have. Then you wouldn't need all that money if you were living a right-sized life. And then you could actually find somebody to pick somebody on things that really matter more than money. Because if you want to pick a man on money, they're gonna pick women on looks. And a lot of men have more, and there's more men with money than women with looks and fitness. That's just the reality today in our community for sure. Because 80% still need some work on that fitness component. All right, man. Appreciate you calling in.
Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
You too now. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right. That was a pretty good call. Boop, 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 boop. All right. So, let's see. Yeah, that was pretty good. Ladies, you can't keep putting these restrictions on men. The older you get, the lower you're gonna have to start adjusting your dating requirement, your ask. And women seem as though you think because you make more, you're further in your career, your standard of living is increased. Your sexual marketplace value goes like this as your age goes like this. It's inversely proportional. Inversely proportional. If you have a disagreement in the chat room, in the Zoom room, raise your hand. If you disagree or you're confused about something, I say raise your hand. You have a question. A question is that a disagreement? And your microphone's not connected anyway. Your audio's not connected. And Anika, your picture's not on. You don't get on without being on video. So without being on, you can't even ask me a question. Mm-hmm. And see, this is the problem with all these people tone policing and saying that, oh, you're just saying that it's too harsh, it's too this. Well, it needs to cut through the clutter. What I honestly think the problem is that stuff that I read at the beginning. That's the stuff that I think you need to be tone policing. Because who's actually worse for women in relationships? I think it's folks like that. I think it's stuff like that. That my tone. Shanice, your audio is not connected. Jessica B, you need to get on camera. Well, Anika, you're not getting on, so I'm going to go ahead and just push. Anika, you have 5 seconds to get on camera, or I'm going to go ahead and boop you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye bye. Jessica, go ahead and unmute yourself. Hello? Hey, how old are you? What do you got for me? You have 3 children? Okay, go ahead.
Leave the nest before I start dating. My oldest is 13.
Oh, how old is your youngest?
My youngest is 9.
Were you married to the father?
No, we have joint
No,
custody of.
no, you weren't married.
No.
Okay, and you have a 9, 13, and what else?
And an 11-year-old.
Okay, and your question is to wait until the 9-year-old is out of the nest before to start dating.
Well, the thing about my 9-year-old is me and my
Is that the question though? That's what I thought I heard you say.
yeah. So mainly the question is
Okay,
because my
Shanice, I'll be right back. Shanice, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. I'm gonna come right back to you, Shanice. Okay, I need to get to the question though. 9 to 13-year-old. Okay.
yeah.
And the question is whether to wait till the kids are out of the house to start dating.
Well, mainly my 11 and my 13-year-old. My 9-year-old, we have like joint custody, and he will be actually staying with his father.
Well, what state do you live in?
I stay in North Carolina.
Dating to what end?
Well, I actually intend to hopefully get married one day. Just something that I
Why? I
want.
mean, you got 3 kids and you didn't require marriage. Why do you need marriage now?
I mean, it's not like a big requirement, but
Why do you want it? You got 3 kids. Why do you want marriage now?
well, it's just something that I kind of wanted to do. But I mean, it's not like it's a necessary thing, but I would like to have at least a strong relationship with someone.
How many fathers do you have?
2.
That's the longest relationship you have with either one of those guys.
4 years. He was my best friend.
Huh?
We were in a relationship for 4 years, but he was also my best friend.
But why didn't you guys get married?
Mainly because I don't think that he really wanted to get married because
And
I
you gave him any children? How many children do you have with him?
only have one, my
Okay.
youngest.
Okay. So it can't be a best friend having kids and not wanting to get married.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm hearing, ma'am, is it seems very similar to many women. You have children, then all of a sudden, when life gets harder, it starts to get real. Then all of a sudden, now I want a strong relationship. When you ain't had a strong relationship, and you didn't even require that to birth 1, 2, 3 children. So let me move you to the side so this isn't so personal. Ladies, y'all got to stop this. Having 1, 2, 3 kids, and then all of a sudden, Jesus, come save me. Now I need a strong, stable, committed man. Too late.
Well, my first one was actually something that happened unconsensually.
Is he in jail?
No, not any longer.
That's the wrong button. Was he in jail beyond that for that non-consensual thing?
He went to jail like right afterwards, but I'm
Was
not
he in
sure.
jail for those charges?
Yes.
All right. Because when I hear non-consensual, that sounds like something that starts with an R, and that means should be some charges. And that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then we won't touch that But at the end of the day, 3 children, and I ask women the same question: what are you going to bring a man? That's what he wants in order to incent him to marry you.
Well, I mean, I feel like I have a strong backbone. I could be a backbone to a person. I've always been a great support system. I don't, I'm easygoing. I'm not really, I don't allow, I don't.
Man, what I'm trying to get you to understand is you don't have a good answer to that question. That's what that comes down to. I don't have a good answer to that question. I just know what I want, and I know that if I got what I want, I could pretty much be willing to support him. That's too vague. Because what you're asking somebody to do is come in and sign a legally binding document tying their financial life to you. That's a marriage. The expectations for the men, the expectations for men are very clear. The expectations most women have are very vague. So, whether it's now or whether it's when your 13 or 11-year-old get out, marriage, I don't think marriage is just stuff that you just do. There needs to be a reason. Men want to get married typically to have kids. And if not, there needs to be a compelling reason to get married. And it's not for companionship. Men don't marry for companionship.
Okay.
I mean, is that new news to you?
I've actually heard it before. And I mean, that's why I said I'm open to just having that companionship. But
but from an aesthetic standpoint, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Dress size?
A 12.
How much you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
Last time I weighed myself, I was 190.
Okay. I think you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. I'm actually working on that right now. I work out at least 4 times a week and doing whatever I need to do to get back to where I was.
Well, I would say this is women who want to be married need to be a wife before you get married. And a wife is a man's helpmeet and an asset to a man.
Right.
Just being able to, I'll be cool with you, is not an asset. It's not an asset. An asset is something that improves overall value. Doesn't what I hear a lot of women say, it's almost just like, hey, I won't cause you problems. But women are bills. There's an expense that comes along with it. And even if you don't cost him any money, time. You want his non-sexual attention. You're gonna want to talk to him, interact with him, go places and do stuff. That men count that as money as well. We don't just want to. I got bad news for y'all. We don't just want to hang out with y'all like that. We want to hang out with our friends and do work. We want to get with y'all when it's time to have sex. Sometimes when it's time to eat, if men could be really honest, they want women to be like, come when we say come and leave when we say leave. Most men can't say that, but that's really what they want. They don't want a woman to build with and this and that. They want you to be around. But I guarantee you, most men, if they're honest, they'll be perfectly happy playing their PS5 and you in the bedroom. And they could just say, hey, babe, grab me a Coke while you're in there. What you cooking tonight? All right. And get back to playing Call of Duty. And then when it's time to go to bed, hit that and go to sleep and wake up. That's a full life for most men. They don't want to sit there and talk about scandal and what's on this and who shot John and who shot Jane and who we are. So if you can start understanding who men are, that kind of stuff makes you an asset to a man. But it really honestly sounds like most women want men to be assets to them. That's why this conversation is so needed right now. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Thank you.
Stay safe out there in Carolina.
Hey, yeah.
Right. Carolina. All right, we got 2 more. It's Friday night. I got time for a little more. I got beans, greens, potatoes.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken. I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Stop. Okay, Miss. Oh, it's the vape lady and Shanice. Shanice, go ahead. Miss Ebert or whoever you are, you're after Shanice. Here we go. Shanice. Go ahead. Hello. Hi. How are you? Oh, okay. Shout out to folks in Jamaica. Shout out to the folks in Jamaica. Jamaica. Go ahead. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Sex, sandwich, and silence goes a long way. Well, hold on. So you're all the way down in Jamaica, and you decided to stay with your man because you listened. Good. Hopefully everything. Right. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that because I bet I have folks from Jamaica in some of my groups. So yeah, I mean relationships are messy. They're hard. That's what they're meant to be. But when life happens, as it does, it's that hard part that makes it worthwhile. So appreciate you calling in because women need to hear that too. Thank you very much. You too now. Thank you very much. All right, Miss Ebert. Hold on, I gotta unmute you. Oh, she was on mute. Oh, the lady from Jamaica was on mute. She called in to show love. Damn it. My system is slowing down. That's the problem. All right. Okay. Now unmute yourself, please. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You. Yeah. Hello. Okay.
feel like today's topic I kind of resonate with in a way.
Okay. Do you have any children?
I do not have any kids at all.
Okay. So how do you resonate with today's topic?
I feel like my topic, I only seem to attract men that have kids that want to marry me.
Okay. How old are you? What happened to her?
29.
You only attract men who want with kids?
Yes.
What state do you live in?
I live in Nevada.
Well, then you need to move out of Nevada because of all you attracted to men with kids. What part of Nevada? Reno, Las Vegas, what?
Oh
yeah, your connection.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, your connection is really bad. Okay, thank you for showing love. Appreciate it, man. I don't know what's going on. Some of these connections were just bad, and when it starts getting bad like that, I have to stop it because it drags the show. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and end this off because the connection's getting a little choppy. The loudest voices aren't the only voices, so we're gonna get up out of here. It's been a good week. Tomorrow's Suit Saturday. Got some stuff going on over here in Atlanta. Got a couple events I got to go to. Good stuff happening. Got an interview to do this weekend. So appreciate everybody for joining in. It's been good. It's been great. But we got to go until the next time. You know how we do it. Peace. We are out. And I don't know why my music's not playing, but we're going to get on anyway because I got stuff to do. Boom, 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 ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-doom, do, 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 ba-doom, do, 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 do. There's this moment. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. I'm a PhD. I'm a PhD. You're a PhD. She's a PhD. We a PhD. And for an old degree. Dorothy, what's going on? Shout out to Dorothy. You know who he is. Thank you, everybody. We keep on moving. We keep on grooving. Do what you do. And let them do what they do. Good night.